Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk today about some lessons I've learned working with my own trauma as well as working with trauma for about all my clients, which is over 300 people at this point, and just some of the themes that I've seen that are recurring over and over again. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ricky. I'm a spiritual coach, and I help people align with their intuition and their best led lives using the work of energy healing, therapy, and coaching to really get them back into who they are so that they can go off and do what they're meant to do. So, the first couple things that I want to say is healing is a myth. Being healed is not real. That is a fantasy. That is a story we tell ourselves. Like, when I'm healed, I'll start the business. When I'm healed, I'll be in the relationship I want to be in. When I'm healed, I'll make the money that I've been knowing I can make this whole time. That's never going to happen. Life doesn't work in sections. Life works in weaving. Life, I wanted to say in weavements. Life works in movements and weaving in and out. So there'll be points in life where you are going to do this trauma work and things are going to expand or open up for you. And then you're going to get a promotion at work or you're going to enter into a relationship. But that's not where it stops. And then something's going to come up or you'll get triggered or something will happen and you'll go back into the work. It goes like this. And it's a constant dance in and out between moving through the trauma that happened and the trauma in your body and moving it out and coming into your life and being in the joy of it and the everyday and the mundane of it. Sometimes the work looks really big. Sometimes that looks like blowing up your life and taking a year off and being, in a rehab program. Or it looks like going on a really long ass hike, or it looks like going to a dance on a Wednesday night. Sometimes the weaving in and out, it can differentiate in time and space. So know that sometimes you're living your life and something comes up, and what you need is therapy for a couple of months, once every week for an hour, or it can look like a journal session, or it can look like a dance movement or ceramics class. Know that it goes like this, and going in and out looks different in time and intensity, and that's okay and that's normal. The beauty is that there's lots and lots and lots of tools, and there are different tools for different times in your life. Maybe you're a young parent, have the time to, you know, go away for an extended period of time to trip in Bali for 3 weeks. Maybe you don't have that time, but what you can do is listen to hypnosis every night before you go to sleep, or do some journaling before your kids wake up. There is a choice within all of your limitations. So that's number two, is acknowledge your limitations, and within your limitations, focus on what is the best and highest thing I can choose from here. So if God forbid you were in an abusive relationship and now you feel limited, acknowledge those limitations. Those limitations are real. There really is damage to your nervous system. There really is something that has to be worked on and moved through. You're not making it up. Even if you don't have physical scars, you're not making it up. There's something happening in your body on a nervous system level. And then say, within this limitation that I am now in, what is the best and highest life that I can have for myself? And then choose that, move with that. The next thing that's super important to know is that when it comes to trauma work, we tend to identify or over identify in these two extremes. The first one is disconnection, where we feel like we categorize or we cut off that part of ourself that's been hurt, and we just try to move forward without doing any work, without acknowledging it, with just making a wall and a blank space and saying that was that and this is now. Then there's the other extreme, where you become the trauma, where all you are is the childhood abuse, where all you are is the bad relationship, where all you are is the financial insecurity. What we want to do is we want to find you somewhere in the space between, where you again can step into the ability to weave in and out. Joy is so much part of the healing, just as much as trauma work, just as much as moving the energy, just as much as confronting it, just as much as journaling it out, tapping it out, using your different tools to move it out of your body. Joy, life, love, celebration, appreciation of beauty, those have massive, 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 massive impact on us. And don't underestimate that ability. Don't underestimate going to an exhibit, an art exhibit, how that can help you. Don't underestimate the work of going to a dance party with friends. Don't underestimate the work of going camping under the stars. That is part of the work as well. So the joy and the confrontation is equally as important, and that will help you get out of the disconnection and the over identification, because when we disconnect, we end up making our we don't want to touch the trauma, and the trauma has a cancerous energy, so it keeps filtering or bleeding into other areas of your life, so your life will get smaller and smaller and smaller. Trauma has a cancerous energy to it. It will keep growing. So if you're just over identifying in the trauma, that will be your whole life. It will take over, and it wants to take over. So we have to find the space between. Okay. Another thing that's super important to note is don't give away your life. Don't give away your life. There are people who have hurt you, and that pain is real, that trauma is real. But don't give them the rest of your life by not working through it, moving through it, and also not over identifying with it. Because if you become the over identification of your trauma, you're just giving them the rest of your life. They already took so much of your life away. Who are they to take the rest of your life? Okay. That's so important to note. Living your life fully, and I say fully, so that doesn't mean in a total state of bliss. That doesn't mean without any sadness or hard days or mourning, but living your life fully, which means all of it, the entire color palette that life has to give us, is taking your life back from the people who've taken parts of your life away. So live fully, choose to live fully, choose to live. It's so important in trauma work. It's so important in just taking our power back. And let's see if there's anything else I wanted to say. Every time you choose to live fully, you are sending that energy back to the version of you that got hurt, to the version of you that had that bruise, had that scratch, has that glitch. You're sending that energy back to her. So whenever you're feeling stuck, feeling like the trauma's taking over, ask yourself, within these limitations, what is the most beautiful choice I have from here? What is the most beautiful choice I can make from this place? That might look like mourning. That might look like staying in bed. And that might also look like going and giving yourself a ceremony around it. It might also look like going out to dinner with your friends. That might also look like going outside and watching the sunset. What is the most beautiful choice you can make from yourself from this moment? And the answer will come, and do that. And that's honoring your future and honoring your past at the same time. So I hope that was helpful. It's been super helpful for me and for my clients, and wishing y'all a great day.